All right. Hey everybody, my name is Belinda here. I have my friend Ketacha here, and I'm just see she's waving, so I hope you guys wave back at her. So, anyways, I'm interviewing her today because she's had such an amazing transformational journey, and so I want to share it with all of you. So Ketacha, say hello. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, so I am 30 years old. I'm a registered nurse. I have 2 kids, and I don't know what else to say. That's pretty much my life. I have 2 kids. I'm married. Been trying to do this fitness thing and get healthy for years now. So,
okay. All right, awesome. Okay, so it's kind of one couple of things that Ketacha. Well, we have a lot of things in common, but 2 things that she mentioned. She's a nurse, and as you guys know, I'm a nurse too. So we gotta have that in common. And she has children. So am I. So do I. She's married. So do I. And so that means that time is limited in terms of that. So I've been seeing your pictures, and and they've been looking great. Like so I knew you before you got married, and so I've seen like the progression of things. So tell us.
So like you said, you knew me before I was married, and I was like super skinny, super skinny. I was like 100 pounds, like all my life.
Like like
yeah, I was so tiny. And then I had my son. I gained some weight after that. It wasn't that much. I lost a little bit of weight. I had started trying to get healthy then. I mean, I couldn't keep it consistent. And then I got pregnant again. And then after my daughter, I kind of like blew up, and I was like maybe close to 200 pounds in like at the end of 2018. I was like, or like the beginning of 2019, I was like, I got to like the largest I've ever been, which was close to 200 pounds.
Okay. Wow. And how did you feel at that time?
I was just so annoyed. I was like, I don't know that my body could actually do this, because you grow up skinny and you're like, oh, I'm never gonna get big. I'm still young. It's not ever gonna happen to me. And then, time is going by, and you're just getting bigger and eating more and getting bigger and just, and then you have 2 kids now, so it's like finding a new normal and trying to rebalance that. That was a huge challenge for me. So.
Right. And just like you said, like time goes by. It's not like you wake up and you get, you become huge. It's like little things here and there, and then it adds up, and then like you wake up, you're like, wait a minute, you know what I mean? That's when it hits you like, wait a minute, I've gained like X amount of pounds,
Right.
So it's like sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
So what were some of the things that you were doing around that time? Like, in terms of like, what do you feel like may have, well, in addition to like, obviously we know you got pregnant and all that stuff. So like, were there any habits that you were, involved is not the right word, but you know what I mean? Like you engaging in like bad habits that may have contributed to extra weight or kept you at that weight?
So biggest thing was I ate out a lot. And I was constantly grazing. So, some people will eat big meals. Every time they eat, they'll eat big meals. I didn't really do that. I was just constantly eating something. So whether it was cookies, whether it's popcorn, whether it's chicken or pizza. And I was eating pizza a lot because I'm like, I got 2 kids. I can't cook right now. Let's just eat pizza and be done with it. So it was like those habits and getting lazy, not cooking, not drinking enough fluids like water, stuff like that. And it just became an everyday thing where, you're constantly buying out. You're constantly too tired to cook, constantly, not hydrating yourself properly. And it just became like normal life where I'm constantly grazing all day.
Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah, girl. It gets hard, especially when the kids are young and, finding time to eat, and you're just like had a baby, or there's always a reason for you to kind of whatever. So what was the lowest point? Like, what was the point for you? What was it that made you wake up one day and like, you know what, this is not working. I need to do something different.
So that's a good question. Honestly, I can't say that I got to a very low point. It was like constantly seeing myself and saying, oh, this is terrible. I should try to work out. Oh, this is terrible. So it was just like nagging at me for a long time. And I would try to get consistent and try to start going to the gym. And I had periods of time where I was going for like weeks, and then I would just drop off and stop. The diet part, I really wasn't getting right. It was just like a tricky thing. One minute I had the motivation to keep going, and then the next minute I didn't, and then I would stop. So okay. I think for me, my biggest issue was relying too much on motivation. And as you know, as everybody else knows, motivation is very fickle. It doesn't always last. One minute you wake up and you feel ready to just conquer the day, and then the next minute you wake up and you don't want to do any of that. You're too tired, like, you are in a bad mood for some odd reason. So I think that kind of contributed to me not progressing as quickly as I wanted to. It's just I relied too much on motivation, and when the motivation wasn't there, I didn't stick to it.
And that's something big, because I know there's a quote that says motivation, you need, okay, I'm loosely paraphrasing yeah, it's okay. So it's like you need motivation to start, but it's like discipline or something like that helps you to keep going.
Right.
So with that said, like when did you become consistent? Because based on your results now, obviously there's some consistency that's been that you've been involved in. So when did that occur for you, or what did you have to do in order for you to get there?
So I guess for me, my biggest inspiration would be Hanif, because both of us were kind of going through the same thing where we're grazing. He was traveling a lot, so he didn't have time to exercise. So he had gotten to his biggest point in 2019, where he was like close to 300 pounds. And then he was like, nah. So then he started doing, he started changing little habits. And then as I was watching his journey and watching him lose, like he lost 100 pounds in 5 months. And then I think while I was watching him doing that, I'm like, I think I could do that too. So, I asked him for what he was doing, and, he pretty much told me it was about changing little habits at a time. So we went from, so we were buying food out all the time, every day, buying food out. So the first step was, let's just not buy food out. Let's just buy groceries, whether it's healthy or junk food, just buy it and put it in the house. So we were buying Hot Pockets, pizza like DiGiorno's and stuff, and we put it in the house so that we weren't buying out food. So I think we went like 1 week or 2 weeks doing that. And then the next step, we're like replacing items in our diet. And during that time, we're still going to the gym too. So I started going to the gym again, just Planet Fitness. Hanif gave me some workouts to do, and it was very simple stuff, very easy. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to push myself to do this every day. I'm not going to think about the motivation. I'm not going to think about anything else. I'm going to just make sure I go to sleep on time and get up in the morning and go do this. And then, it just became a thing where it's like, every day, this is something that I have to do. Just like every day I got to breathe. Every day I got to drink water. Every day I got to work. Like, it just became part of my life.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. One thing I did hear you say, that which is awesome, which is really good, is it's habits, right? It's simple things you got to change. Sometimes I know there are people that think you have to overhaul like everything at once.
Yes.
There may be a handful of people that can handle that, but for the majority of the population, we cannot handle that. It's like one little thing at a time. Right. So it's awesome. I like what you guys did. You guys realized that the biggest factor was eating out constantly, and the things you were also eating. So that was the first thing that you cut off, which is awesome, because I think awareness is like what you need to get you started. You know what I mean? Once you're aware, okay, there's a problem, let's identify the problem and let's tackle that. So I like that. I really like that. Now I know it's not easy going from eating out all the time to going food shopping, right? So like, what did you guys have to do in those steps in order to make sure that you were doing the right thing? Like, for example, when you were going grocery shopping, were you still buying the same things you would typically eat in the restaurant, or did you make a conscious decision to like, okay, it's going to be less carbs, more veggies?
Right.
Like, how did you guys do it?
Honestly, It was very gradual. When we started out, when we stopped buying food out, we were still buying pizza. We were still buying Hot Pockets. We were still buying like the frozen fries and putting them in the air fryer. And even though it wasn't like the healthiest step, it was a step towards being better. Because I just like you said before, it's not like not everybody can make that big, huge jump from eating out every day to eating chicken breasts, brown rice, and broccoli every day. Right. It's not like a thing, because number one, your taste buds are different. You're not used to this food, and the way to kill your motivation is to do something that you can't love. And that was another huge factor for us, is like falling in love with this journey, where it wasn't so much result based, like, oh, I want to be 130 pounds. It was like, no, I want to get up every day and exercise. I want to get up every day and eat right. And then your body starts to adapt to those changes you make. So it's not necessarily focusing on that end result. It's more of the journey and the everyday process, because if you don't focus on the everyday process, you're never going to get to that result. Right. So that's what we kept in our mind every day is, okay, what are we doing today to get to that? Today to get to that,
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, sidebar, I know you guys have kids. Now, how was it like introducing this new habit like into the household? Did you guys just eat healthy just for yourselves, or was everybody eating the same thing?
Oh, so kids are so much different. So are we a bit more lenient with their foods? Yes, but they do still eat, the broccoli, the chicken breast, and stuff like. We're not as picky with them, but we do still introduce them to that. And what's great about it is my mother is always feeding them, Haitian food, which, full of vegetables, full of rice and stuff. So they're getting used to the taste of vegetables, the taste of healthy eating. So they are introduced to it, but not necessarily the same way. What happened with COVID is we had to start working out at home. So they got to see that every day while we were trying to keep up with that, and they would join in with us and try to exercise too. So that was kind of one of the ways we incorporated them into the whole healthy living thing.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, speaking of COVID, like, yes, you did mention that you had to start working out at home. How was the transition from exercise? You're already shaking your head no.
For me, I can't do home workouts. Like, home workouts for me are tough.
Really?
Because the couch is there, the TV's there. I got to do laundry. Like, at least for me, when I'm at the gym, my mind is like focused. Okay,
I see.
Here, I'm ready to work and do the work here. At home, for like the first week, I was pretty good. Like, I would wake up the same time every day, come downstairs, put on my lights, and try to do it. But then, COVID was being really COVID-like, and it was just not working. It was just not working.
Yes.
So I did fall off a bit, but I tried to stay within the healthy diet stuff, because at least that wasn't going to change whether I'm inside the house or outside the house. So I tried to keep up with that. So I didn't gain like a bunch of weight, but I wasn't as consistent with my workouts. Hanif, on the other hand, was, because he was competing for a show. So he was able to do that, but not necessarily for me. But, the gym's opened up again and I'm back at it, and it's great.
That's awesome. Now, how about, do you guys, you guys did say that you're cooking different at homes too. So who's like in charge of cooking? Is it like you or Hanif? Or do you guys like, and by the way, guys, for those of you who don't know, Hanif is her husband. I hope you have figured it out by now, but so who's in charge? Is that him in the background?
No, he's left. He went to the gym.
Okay. Yeah. All
right. So he most of the time will do the healthy eating, the healthy cooking. Because we're not crazy about, the standard brown rice, chicken breast, broccoli. So we had to find things that we would like that was still healthy, but would like fit our palate. So he would experiment and make like a healthy pizza, or like turkey burgers and different types of stuff that we actually enjoyed eating when it was like unhealthy. sweet potato fries instead of regular oily potato fries that are like deep fried in oil. We use the air fryer. So just making little tiny changes like that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, and veggies too.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't have all the healthy things without the veggie. Exactly. So that's awesome. I really like it. And I like the fact that you guys try to, you experiment and you find things that you liked. And I know like something that I have heard from people is like they obviously people don't like change, right? Especially when it comes to food. You like what you like and you don't want to switch it up, you know what I mean? You just stick to it. And trying new things can be difficult, or, you know, sometimes people feel like, oh, certain type of way of eating is not for them. Oh, you know, you can come up with excuses, but understanding that you need, you know, you have to enjoy it, you know what I mean? Or it would be better if you enjoyed it, right? That you guys experimented and found things that you like. So even though it wasn't like fries from Wendy's or like any other fast food chain, it was still something, you know, you did sweet potato fries and kind of air fryer stuff. So you tweaked it again. And it goes back to the small changes and the habits, you know what I mean? It's not just like, oh, overhaul, but it's like, all right, let's try this and this and this and that. So how often do you go to the gym nowadays?
So I'll do between 5 and 6 days. Sometimes I'll go every single day, depending on how I feel. Maybe if I feel like I need a rest day, I'll rest. But most of the time, 5 days a week.
Okay. And how long are you there for?
Between 45 minutes to 90 minutes on the days that I'm not working. So I get to the gym at between 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning. If I'm working that day, I know. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of people are like, how do you do that? Get up so early to go to the gym. For me, the issue is I'm not productive after 3 p.m. So I'm a day shifter. I wake up early, I go to work, and then after that, I'm pretty much dead. So I'm pretty much done for the day. So like the thought process of getting to the gym after work, after I've been on my feet for 8 hours, it was just not going to happen. So I was like, how am I going to find a way to fit this for me? I'm not a night person. So what's going to work for me? And the only thing that worked for me was getting up in the morning, because I already didn't have an issue with that. So I've had a few of my nurse friends like, oh my gosh, I want to join you. And I'm like, well, that's only if you're a morning person, because I know tons of fit people who work out at night or work out in the afternoon. And it's back to the whole doing what is going to make you happy and what fits your life.
Right. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. That's awesome. Especially, you know, you asked yourself that question, like, how can I make this work for me? You know, and being realistic. You're like, nah, after 3, I'm done. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But then you probably did have to still make a sacrifice to wake up a little earlier though, right? Because you probably weren't waking up at 4 prior to. Like, I know you work days, but you were not waking up at 3:30.
No. Right? So my thought process was, it's going to start the night before. So once I get the kids bathed into bed, I bathe and I go to bed. So that was going to be the starting point for me. If I didn't get to bed on time, I wasn't going to ever make it to the gym on time. So I started practicing getting to bed early, and, you know, it's not really a difficult thing for me to get up, especially if I have to work that day. You know, getting 4:30, 5 o'clock is not a huge deal.
Now, how long until you finally got that into that rhythm? Because it wasn't probably right away, right?
Yeah, I think once I made the decision to do it every day, I think I'll say like in the beginning of this year, I decided, you know, I'm going to just do this. Like, I'm not going to think about whether I want to or not. I'm just going to get up and do it. And that's pretty much what I did.
Okay. Now, did you ease into it? Like, for example, did you say, okay, we'll do this 3 times a week, and then we'll go up to 4 times and then 5? Or was it just straight, I'm going to do this every night? Like,
I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do it every night. Awesome. I wasn't going to give myself not that I was jumping in, but I knew that I could do it consistently. You know, I already knew that I don't have a problem waking up early. So it's always going to be down to, am I going to just practice it every day? And is it just going to be part of my life? So I just made it a part of my life.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. That's awesome. So, so then like, which brings us to now, because I've seen your recent pictures. And I'm like, damn, like, yo, that's what's up. You look great.
Thank you.
You look great. You look really, really look great. So, so then I would assume that these past few months, were they like the times where you were like the most consistent out of like, since you started?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Okay. That's awesome. So now how much did you lose?
So I'm down to, I haven't weighed myself in a few days, but the last time I did was like, I think I was like 139. So about 60 pounds.
Okay. Wow. Wow. And now I'm actually going to show you guys, you know, send me the pics, and then we can always have people check out your social media page, and then they can see the transformation. But it's super cool. Like when I saw the pictures, I was like, wow, I didn't remember her like losing all that from before.
Right,
really
right.
And it goes to show like you know, how consistency and how changing small habits, they definitely help. Now, what is the biggest thing that you struggled with like throughout this whole journey process?
Drinking enough water.
Ah,
that's huge. So I know I told you guys that I'm a nurse. I'm actually an IV nurse. What that means is most of the people I see are dehydrated. Like, I think everyone is just perpetually dehydrated. And I think that's even goes to show, like, even for healthy people, most of us are dehydrating. If you're not drinking the minimum 2 liters of water per day, you're just not even drinking enough for a sedentary lifestyle. And most people aren't doing that. And, you know, people drink coffee, people drink all these other things, but they don't necessarily have the same effect as water does in your body. So that's definitely my biggest challenge.
And speaking of dehydration, right? Like one of the, you know, someone's dehydrated when you put a Foley in them, and there's like this much of urine that comes out. I'm just like, yo,
yeah, you ain't drinking nothing.
I'm like, I'm an OR nurse, so I'm like looking at anesthesia, like she needs like at least 2 more liters of fluid, because this is not working at all. It's but you're right, we are perpetually dehydrated, and I think, and I've posted this once before, like one of lack of water plays such a role into our health, or lack of health, or dehydration. Like it impacts our body much more than we'd like to realize. Like if we were hydrated, like there's a lot of things we would not experience because we have enough water to function. You know what I mean? So it's crazy just to think that something as simple as water, right? So anyway, so obviously that's something that you're still struggling with now. Yes.
I try to drink a gallon of water a day. Some days I can get to there, and some days I only drink half. But definitely my goal is a gallon of water a day. And the reason why I say a gallon is because I'm actually active. So I'm going to be losing more fluids through sweat and, you know, all that stuff. And also, I think, you know, doing more research about health and fitness, I found out that most of, you know, your fat excretion comes out of your urine and through your breath, which is like, what? You know, so if you drink enough water and you're exercising, that fat is going to leave your body that much quicker. So it's like, I see people chugging away at the treadmill every day, and, you know, they're sweating and not seeing the results that they want to see. And it's like, you know, are you drinking enough water? And all of it works together to actually help your body and shape your body the way it should be.
That's awesome. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. This is so good. So good. All right. So, so you're still struggling. Like I know, like for me, I know drinking water can be difficult, especially because I'm an OR nurse, like I said. So sometimes if I'm scrubbed in a case, I don't want to drink too much, you know what I mean? Because it's like, well, I don't know when I'm going to get a break, you know what I mean? But it's also knowing your schedule. So we all know that we have to drink water. So you have to know your schedule, you know, like so on those days that I know I'm going to be working, I make sure I drink my water like in the beginning of the day. And, you know, during my breaks, I take like a glass of water. I don't overdo it because, again, you're in the case, you don't know when you're going to get out. But trying to still make an effort to put it in there somehow. And on my days off, yeah, I drink like water all throughout the day. So so it's like, again, knowing yourself and being honest with your schedule, being honest with yourself and all that stuff. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So tell me, what is anything else? Like, I'm trying to think of any questions I want to ask you. Is there anything else you want to share with our audience who's listening?
Just to, like, if you're gonna really go into this health and fitness thing, know that it's going to be a forever journey. Yes. And be content with every decision you make for your body. I know that, you know, some people want to look aesthetically one way, but don't know how to get to that. Just take little steps and you're always going to get closer to that goal. And be content with the steps that you make. You know, Absolutely. You're not, you know, you don't have to go to the gym and lift hundreds and hundreds of pounds. You can take it slow. You can ease yourself into it, but know that this is going to be something that you do forever. You're never going to stop with your health and fitness. Nobody ever, the people that I've met who are fit and who have been fit for years, they tell me they love this life and this is all they know. And it's just so embedded in them that they will never stop. So I think I would tell people, don't look at health and fitness as something ancillary or something extra that you have to do, but it's something that's just part of your life. Like, you get up and you brush your teeth, you get up and you shower, you get up and you work out, you get up and you eat right. It's just all embedded in the fabric of your being. So that's awesome. Pretty much it.
That's awesome. That's definitely one way that I have taught my clients to do it too. Like, if they're morning people, then I'm like, okay, put your sneakers right next to your bed. Like, when you get up, you brush your teeth or whatever, and you whatever, and just hop into your outfit, your workout clothes, and go do it. You know what I mean? Once we make it part of our routine, which is something that you and Hanif have figured out for your family, you made it part of your routine, and then you're able to see the results because you're consistent with it. So that is super, super, super awesome. Yeah, so I'm so happy that you shared with us your journey. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yeah, I hope those who listen will really get something from it. Now, where can people follow you if they want to see your transformation?
You can follow my journey on my Kets Fit Life page, KETSLYFE, Kets Fit Life. I have to think about it.
That's one more time. Do that one more time.
KETSFITLYFE, Kets Fit Life. Yeah, it's all one word. That's just really my journey. You'll see when I started, you'll see, like, if you look at the dates, there's going to be like a huge gap between like when I started and my inconsistent. Towards my more recent posts, they're a bit more consistent because I've been more consistent. So
that's awesome.
Follow me on IG.
Yep, and that's on Instagram. That's right. Any other? Okay, so on Instagram. That's awesome.
Yes.
Anything else?
So we will be starting something called habits-based fitness, where we help people find the better habits that they can live by and, you know, adapt to their life so that they can get started on their health and fitness journey. So that is coming soon.
Oh, that's awesome. So once that comes out, and I'm pretty sure that will be, okay. I can only see half of it. So I can't see.
There we go. Habit-based fitness.
All right. Awesome. Habit. Oh, I see it. Oh, awesome. Oh, that's you too.
Yeah.
All right. You know, I kind of, like, when we first got on, I kind of saw it, but I didn't really like look at it. But now I'm seeing it. That's kind of you. So that's awesome. So I'm really happy that you joined us again. And to you guys who are listening, if you are still thinking about it, or if you're still dabbling, understand that it's a journey, it's a process. You know, you have to make the decision to start, and there will be ups and there will be downs. There'll be failures, there'll be successes. But like Ketacha says, you got to embrace the journey, because it's not a destination. It is indeed a journey. So you got to, you know, keep going, keep pushing through, make those mistakes, because when when you make those mistakes, you realize what works for you and what does not work for you. So I encourage you all today to get up and move. If you haven't moved yet today, to do so, to kind of like, if you haven't had lunch yet, then think about what you're going to do differently for lunch today. And tweak, just even if it's one small thing, just make that decision to do that today. One small thing. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you like. Please comment below and let us know how you feel and what you're trying to do today to make this day be the beginning of your journey. So thanks again. Bye. Bye.